Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss our new topic, which is sericulture. So sericulture is also known as silk farming, right? So in sericulture, a worm is used for the production of silk, which is known as silkworm. So the production of silk and the rearing of silk by cultivating silkworm is known as sericulture. So in this video lecture, we will further discuss about the various species of silkworm and the life cycle of silkworm. So let's start. So here is the introduction about the sericulture and silkworm. So first is the silk producing machine is an insect called silk moth. In Hindi it is also known as Resham ka Keeda. Next is from the countless generation of silkworm are continuously breeding, feeding on mulberry leaves. Right? It not specifically feed on mulberry leaves. It depends on which species you used in sericulture. So they spin their cocoons and dying sacrificed to demand of human beings for decoration. It is the fancy origin of beautiful silk in the form of threads. Next is this technique is firstly known by Chinese people and it was kept as top secret as national policy, and whoever revealed this top secret will hang to death. But later this secret were smuggled by two monks and introduced in Europe. Later on Mediterranean Asian countries also know this technique. Next is species of silkworm, right? So in sericulture, not all species of silkworm used in this technique, only few number of species are used. First is mulberry silkworm, right? It feeds on mulberry leaves. Next is tussar silkworm. It feeds on ware, oak, sal and fig plants. Next is Muga silkworm. It feeds on plant named Machelus, right? So next is Airy silkworm, feeds on castor leaves. Next is oak silkworm, which feeds on various varieties of or various species of oak, right? So one of the most common silkworm used during sericulture is Bombyx mori, which is also known as mulberry silkworm. It is the most common silkworm which is used in the sericulture, right? So next is life history of mulberry silkworm. Here is the diagram which showing the life history of mulberry silkworm in sericulture, right? So first of all, male and female get copulate and female lays eggs on the mulberry leaves, right? So after the 10 days of incubation period, these eggs hatch into a larva which is caterpillar, right? So the caterpillar has three thoracic true legs, right? And they have the 5 abdominal pseudo legs. Here is the dorsal horn present on the dorsal side. Spiracles are also there, and here is the head. So this mature caterpillar develop into a cocoon. After that the cocoon open out and develop into adult or male or female butterfly. So this life cycle get continuous as it is. So we'll further discuss it in detail. So next is life cycle of mulberry silkworm. We'll discuss it in detail. So first is the adult silkworm is pale creamy white in color. Due to heavy body or feeble wings, flight is not possible. So they are not able to fly because their wings are not that strong, which carry their body weight, right? So moth is unisexual and does not feed during short lifespan of 2 to 3 days. Right, so first is fertilization. So proceeded by the copulation just after emergence. Male copulate with female for about 2 to 3 hours. Right, after the emergence of from cocoon. Right, so the male copulate with female for about 2 hours, and when separated, male will die. And after few hours of copulating with female, so male will die and female will survive, right? So next is egg laying. Just after the copulation, female start laying egg completed in 1 to 24 hours, right? So one moth lay approximate 4 to 500 eggs, depending on its temperature, feeding habit, which kind of food we provide them, right? So egg lay always in the form of cluster covering a gelatinous secretion of female moth, help in surface attachment with leaves. These gelatinous secretion help the egg for the attachment with the leaves, right? So next is eggs, right? So eggs are rounded and white in color. So with the increase in time after egg laying, eggs become darker in color. So the color of eggs are not same as it was during the first day. Its color become darker and darker day by day. Next is hatching. So eggs after 10 days of incubation period hatch into larva called caterpillar. So after the hatching, caterpillar need continuous supply of food as they are voracious feeder, right? Voracious feeder mean they drastically feeds on leaves, mulberry leaves. They need lot of leaves to eat, right, during this stage. So they feed approximate 2000 times more than the adult, right? So without proper supply of mulberry leaves, the development do not proceeded in proper way. So caterpillar need a continuous supply of mulberry leaves for the proper development of this larva, right? So next is caterpillar. So caterpillar has mandibular types of mouth part adapted to feed easily on mulberry leaves, right? As the mandibular types of mouth part helps in feeding and chewing easily, right? So the first instar larva feed on a very soft mulberry leaves, as they are not able to feed on the hard leaves because they have a genital body part, or they have not that strong body part to feed on a hard leaves, right? So as they are voracious feeder, they grow rapidly and reach up to fifth instar. So instar is the stages between eggs and caterpillar, right? Eggs and caterpillar. So the stages occur between for the formation of caterpillar, for the formation of this larva is known as instar, right? So it takes about 21 to 25 days after hatching to full grow. Caterpillar takes 21 to 25 days to full grow, right? So after that it develops salivary gland, stop feeding and undergo pupation. So salivary gland further helps during pupation for the rupturing of pupa, or for the formation, or for various purpose during the pupation, which we discuss in further. So next is pupa, right? So the caterpillar stop feeding and move toward the corner of leaves and secrete a sticky fluid through the silk gland, right? Silk gland helps in the secretion of fluid which later develop into silk. So fluid comes out through the spironet in the form of long thread of silk which harden on exposure with air, right, and wrap around the caterpillar body in the form of covering called cocoon. So suppose this is a caterpillar and it secrete a fluid around in this manner, in the rounded manner, right, from this head region, right? So its rotation is that faster that it rotate around 65 times per minute. It form 65 times per minute round motion, right, which it makes, right? So next is cocoon. So cocoon is a white color web of pupa. Its outer thread is irregular and inner is regular. So length of cocoon thread is 1000 to 1200 meters. So winding of thread is very quick. Phenomena achieved by the constant round of motion of the head of caterpillar, which is 65 times per minute, right? So next is emergence of imago. So active metamorphic changes lead to disappearance of pseudolegs and emergence of two pair of wings. So silkworm inside secretes alkaline fluid to moisten cocoon, right? So moisten and become soft where thread are hydrolyzed by silkworm. Finally, a hole is formed through which feeble adult moth secretes out of cocoon. So suppose this is a cocoon, right? So here inside is the caterpillar. So caterpillar moisten the cocoon from here, and after caterpillar moisten the cocoon at one end, it becomes soft, and it hydrolyzes from this end, and the upper part of cocoon get ruptures or get or break, and this imago comes out, right? Comes out from this, right? So finally a hole formed through which a feeble adult moth emerges out of cocoon, and the process of this life history of this silkworm is completed, right? So the further this process continues as it is. So this is all about the life cycle of silkworm. So if you please like the video, share, subscribe and like. Thank you.